Welcome to Capsized, a Silver Lake podcast talking about weekly school-wide updates, hosted by
Connor,
Cass, and Messina. Thank you, Silver Lake Library and community, for making this possible. We couldn't have done it without Miss Matthias.
Welcome back to Capsized, guys. This is episode 15, which is absolutely crazy on that one. Thank you for listening to all of them. If you have, thank you for joining if this is your first one. April 15th is Titanic Remembrance Day. April 12th is Haiku Poetry Day. April 22nd is Earth Day. April 23rd is Take Your Child to Work Day. That sounds like a blast. Take your child to work. I wouldn't even want to do that. If I'm a kid and I don't want to go to work with my parents. Anyways, today we have Mr. Tilley on the podcast. We do not have Cass, but Cass will be joining us again soon. Mr. Tilley is doing a Culture Clicks. We'll talk about that in a second with him. Also, today is the last day of recording for the show that we're doing here at Silver Lake, which is Little Mermaid, which is absolutely amazing. I'm going to quickly walk through how you guys can get tickets for it. So if you go to the Silver Lake Regional High School website, and it's right on the homepage, you keep scrolling down, and it says Little Mermaid. It's a little poster. Okay, all you have to do is click the poster, brings you to a website that's show ticks for you. You click the search by organization, type in Silver Lake High School, and when you click that, it'll bring you to the Little Mermaid poster again. And it's going to be on Thursday, April 29th, Friday the 30th, Saturday, May 1st. So the days it's streaming at 7 o'clock strictly. So all you have to do is click those days. It says you want to buy tickets. You click that. Again, you click Little Mermaid. You just buy the tickets for that. It has all of our cast members and all of our crew members listed underneath it if you wanted to see that. Has the days, the time, the event, the number you can call. A quick little thing about what we're doing. It's a Disney Little Mermaid. We just did it here. COVID safe. It's absolutely fun. I loved being part of it. Hope you can come and see everything that we've done and built. We have a ship we built, which is you have to watch it. You have to see it. Culture Clicks is a thing that Mr. Tilley is doing. So World Storytelling Day is celebrated annually on Spring Equinox Day, where people encouraged to share their stories in as many languages as possible and as many places as possible to build the relationship and culture connections, inspire others. And the hope is that the project will share diverse culture backgrounds. It's absolutely amazing. Mr. Tilley will explain more of that, but thank you for stopping in. So let's shift over to Mr. Tilley.
all right. So, can you tell us just maybe a brief summary about the Culture Clicks Club or program?
Yeah, I guess I would call Culture Clicks more of a project or a campaign. The idea behind the project is that once you do a little digging and start to really look into people's backgrounds and people's stories, that there's limitless amounts of neat stories and background and life experiences that people have to share. And the point or the goal of the project is sort of just give people in our community the opportunity to start to open that door or begin to open that window, to give them a chance to share a little bit about the backstories and the abundant information that they have to share beyond just a 2-minute video.
Yes. Well, thank you. What brought this project about? Was there something that inspired you to come up with this idea?
Sure. I think a lot of events and projects in our school community that focus on cultural awareness and cultural diversity can be traced back to Ms. Schweer and her Cultural Awareness Day, which she has actually been doing in this school since early 2000s.
Okay.
So I think 2003, 2004, 2005, somewhere in the mid 2000s, first decade, she started doing Cultural Day or Cultural Awareness Day during the school day. The idea was to give students and teachers a chance to talk candidly about coming from a different place, living in a different place, and to allow students to ask questions about those experiences to the panel. So for 15 years, going on 15 years or more, Ms. Schweer has been doing Culture Day. But I think people tend to think Silver Lake's not a super diverse school, but like I was trying to say earlier, once you do a little digging, there is a lot more diversity than you would think at first glance. So Miss Weir's Culture Day, we've had some like culture night events in the past few years, and the Culture Clicks is kind of trying to put those stories into a digital platform in a very short, like compact way. And it's not going to tell everyone's story, but it might make someone aware that, wow, this person lived in this country, or wow, this person comes from there, or wow, this person's family comes from somewhere where my family comes from. And just to make people aware of the different stories that people have to share.
I agree. I feel like that's a really one of many really great ways to get people to communicate with each other, and it gives them something to bond over. Is there a specific goal that you want to get towards with this project?
Sure. I think a lot of teachers have been excited about the idea of sharing a video. We're asking that the videos be on 2 minutes or under. We can be a little flexible with that timeline, but 2 minutes is kind of the sweet spot. You don't tend to listen to someone talk for too much longer than that, right? So the goal, I think, of the project would be, in addition to the teachers that have expressed interest, I would really, it would be really awesome if we could ultimately have some students being willing to make and share some of the videos to talk about either their cultural background or their family's cultural background or some other interesting experience that they'd like to share.
That's awesome. Yeah. So is there anything specific that you expect to see while teachers or students make their videos?
As of now, the way that it's evolved and the thinking now, we ask that the beginning of the video, at least the first 10-15 seconds, you can see the speaker.
Mhm.
So that's the only thing I have left in my video. I have this as just a blank screen with my voiceover. I just need to record myself in my classroom saying the same lines. But that the first 10-15 seconds, maybe even 30 seconds, be a visual so you can sort of establish a relationship with the speaker.
Mhm.
And then that you kind of cut away to a voiceover where the person shares some stock video. A lot of teachers are making theirs on WeVideo, which has a lot
Mhm.
of the pictures already. Some stock pictures of the place you're talking about, or the item, the thing you're talking about. Or some people are using personal pictures.
Mhm.
So when you went to this place or your family from this place, my video is a collection of both. So it's
Okay.
stock video from WeVideo and some personal photos of myself abroad. Um, I think I want to give people the flexibility, or we'd like to give people the flexibility to express themselves however they like to in
Mhm.
in their short video. But with those guidelines, we're hoping that they have a same kind of feel to them
Yeah.
and some kind of common thread.
All right. So we're back. Messina had to leave for a little bit, but we're here. I'm here with Mr. Tilley. Um, and I had a question about the Culture Clicks project. What, how do people send in the videos once they've finished making them?
So the plan as of now, myself and Miss Matthias are sort of the point people on this project, and anyone who's interested in submitting a video can reach out to either of us in person or by email.
Mhm.
We also really are passionate about putting this together. So Miss Matthias is definitely better versed than myself in WeVideo and other editing tools, but we're both more than willing to help a person who's interested in making a video to put that together. If they have a story they want to share, some kind of cultural experience or background, something that they think would be important to put out there, we would be more than happy to help someone make that happen.
Well, thank you. Um, See, is there anything else you may want to say that when you guys were coming up, like who's involved in this project so far?
So far, myself and Miss Matthias, we've also reached out to Miss Hines, the World Language Department head. So the plan is that the videos, once we assemble a few, will be streamed through our World Language Department website. Um, I believe Miss Hines is working on a video as well. A few other teachers in the building. to share some of their unique stories.
Mhm.
And it's really neat in that I don't think a 2-minute video necessarily tells you all of someone's story
Mhm.
or, the real intricate details, but I
Mhm.
see it sort of as a doorway to open the conversation.
Exactly.
So someone might have a video about their grandparents being from a particular place, or traveling to meet some family that lived abroad, for example. The 2-minute video is just gonna scratch the surface of that experience, but to make other people community in the community aware
Mhm.
that, oh, this person has been to this place, or, oh wow, this teacher of mine comes from here, or, wow, this classmate of mine has this cultural experience to
Mhm.
share. Just making people aware, we hope that um, it leads to many, many more conversations.
Exactly. Well, that's awesome. I want to say that this project sounds absolutely amazing so far. Um, and just for fun, do you have any guesses on how many people might send in a video?
How many send a video? A guess or
any any kind of guess on a number of people that you expect to send
Sure.
in a video?
Oh man, this is a tough question because the realist or the optimist, right? Uh,
Maybe an estimate.
an
Maybe just
estimate.
round it
Sure,
up.
sure. So I think it's a tough ask because it sounds like a neat idea, but it is a
Mhm.
time commitment. I think I told
Mhm.
myself I could make a video in 3 or 4 hours, and to get to the end goal that I wanted, that's something
Mhm.
I was happy with. It was maybe more like 10 or so.
Mhm.
I think that can be attributed more to my inexperience with the video editors, the WeVideo, right? If I had made a dozen videos before, I probably could have made a video in 2 hours.
Mhm.
It was just sort of my novice level with the software. I would like to see maybe by the end of the school year, it would be awesome to see if we could get maybe 20 to 30 videos together
Mm.
between staff and students. It might be a little ambitious, but I think that would be a neat number where we could cycle through them, that they randomly populate the world language site,
Mhm.
and that you could see a few up there. Optimistic, 20 to 30 by the end of the year. Realistically, I mean, a dozen would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And again, guys, just if you have any idea of your culture, if your grandparents have told you about your culture, or maybe your parents, or anything about your background, feel free to share and make that video. Get ready and send it in. And another thing is there any way students can send videos, like record a quick video on their phone and send it in that way, or do they have to use WeVideo?
They don't have to use WeVideo, but the project in its first phase is to teachers and staff, because there's a little more complexity with the student aspect,
Okay.
in that we have to do like a modified permission form,
Mm-hmm.
a modified field trip form, because by submitting a video, it might be shared somewhere, shared out,
Mm-hmm.
put up on the TV or the school website. So we have to finalize the permission aspect before the students can submit or theirs.
Exactly.
We're hoping that the teachers can give the examples, right? That we can put
Mm-hmm.
together. Here's what we're looking for. Here's a few, and then inspire a few more teachers um, to make them, and then students. I think I was saying earlier that if students can make videos, we know that this has been a success.
Mm-hmm.
I think back to being a high school student, and um, there's just so much pressure. Everyone wants to be normal and be
Exactly.
this, fit in, be normal, and um, with that pressure, it's unfortunate because a lot of times some of the most interesting stories, like different cultural backgrounds or different languages spoken at home, or
Mm-hmm.
different life experiences, by all the pressure to look and appear and seem normal, so much of that is kind of lost or put aside.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the idea of this project and some of the other events in the school, like diversity and difference, is something to be celebrated,
Exactly.
and we want to give people the opportunity to do that.
And I think that's absolutely amazing. But did you have any um final questions, I just have one more. But if you have any final questions, or I'm sorry, if you have any final comments to make on the project.
Sure. Let me think for a second. I did have something. It was something along the lines of what I was just speaking about, but it might be gone.
All right, well, that's all right. If you think of it, just let us know and we can fit it in somewhere.
Sure.
But I had a question. One of my final questions are, what are the phases? I know you mentioned phases.
Yep.
Do you know what any of those may look like at the moment?
Sure. So part of the reason for doing the culture clicks um, is the lack of not being able to do a culture night.
Mm-hmm.
This year started the culture day that's been going since 2004, 2005. And then we've been doing a culture evening in the spring for the last few years.
Okay.
So with everything going on with the pandemic, we decided maybe we can assemble a few videos that promote the ideas of Cultural Awareness Day and Cultural Night, and to assemble those to help promote it, and then anticipate doing the event again um, in the spring of next year. So the phases for the Culture Clicks project, right now it's kind of the first invite, the first round of people submitting videos
Mhm.
from our teachers and staff. Hopefully, we have a few solid examples to then share with other members of the staff and faculty that might be interested. Once they see a video, maybe it sticks. All right,
Yeah.
I can do that too. And then once we have the teachers assemble them, and we have that permission slip finalized, to then open that up to the students and say, um, you too can be heard and share your experience. We also hope that it might not only be limited to the high school, but that it might become a district wide thing.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Just one second. I got to pause. All righty. So thank you for that. Is there anything, final things you'd like to say about this project before we wrap it up?
I hope that my optimistic and realistic. I hope that I really do hope that other people jump on board, because, like I said, it's not an easy task to make a video, especially
Mhm.
with how hectic things are end of the
Yeah.
school year. But if we get a good core group of people that are willing to share and not overshare, right? In 2 minutes, just a little bit. As I was saying before, it's kind of just an invitation to converse more and dive more into people's backgrounds. It's not going to tell you everything, but
Exactly.
it's a little bit of, hey, I never knew that this teacher of mine
Mhm.
comes from that place, or I never knew that this student of mine has family from here.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm losing my train of thought here.
It's all right. No worries.
So it's just, it's the idea is it's a start of a conversation, and that's what we hope to be. And if we can get
Mhm.
a good core group of submissions, it doesn't have to be an outrageous number, but if you
Yeah.
have 5 to 10 really good videos to start, and people can see it and say, wow, that's really neat, like I never knew that about this person, or wow, that's really neat, I have a million more questions after I heard what this person had to
Mhm.
say. It's the start of many more conversations. I see it as the opening of a door that leads to you know um, that leads to many more conversations down the road.
Exactly. Well, thank you for that. Like everything that I've heard so far, this is a new project, and so far it sounds absolutely amazing. It's one of the. I feel like this is one of the projects that's going to be very inclusion. It's this is one of the projects that are, I'd say, most important, or one of the activities that are most important, because again, it's inclusion. There's a lot of clubs here that in activities that um, you know plenty of people can join, but there's also there's not a lot that people can actually click to. There's some people that may see these videos and be able to relate to somebody else's video, which is absolutely amazing as well. But just um, don't feel scared or shy to send in your videos. Take the those 2 minutes to make a video, and I feel like it's going to be very interesting to see what other people's videos will look like. So contribute to that. This is an awesome opportunity.
Yeah, I think a lot of times people say Silver Lake's not a very diverse school. We don't have a lot of diversity or people with different backgrounds here. But the idea, a big part of the project and the point of the project, once you do a little digging, there's so many neat stories and stories that we want to hear.
Exactly. And Messina, cut that out. Not Mr. Chili, cut me out. That's what I was trying to say.
No, you did fine.
Thank you. So yes, like I was saying, this is, I feel like, an amazing opportunity. And I do not remember anything, close to this that we have. So again, guys, don't be shy. Send in those videos. Just say anything at all. Anything about your culture, about your background, even your family's background. Be included. No, be
Inclusive.
inclusive. Thank you. Be inclusive. Include others. Make others feel like they can make a video as well. Alrighty. So, well, thank you, Mr. Tilly. If that's it.
Thank you,
All right.
Connor.
You're welcome. We'll see you on the flip side.